What would I say to someone who's considering doing CodeSail or another bootcamp like this? I would just say do it. Like, you have to do it. Definitely do it. I thought about this a lot. I can't think of anything else you could do with your summer unless you really want. There's nothing else you could do with your summer that would be more beneficial for you in the long run and would open more doors for you and would give you just more chances for the rest of your life to do really cool stuff. There's just nothing else. You should definitely do it. Hi, I'm Sara. I'm a student at Yale. I'm a history major and I'm graduating in 2016. Yeah, so I did the bootcamp this summer after my sophomore year, and I was actually interning helping coordinate the program, but because I was there all day, every day, I ended up just kind of being a student in the end. I'd go home and do the extra homework and stuff like that, so I ended up getting to participate in the actual class, which was really cool. One or two things I learned that were the most valuable from the bootcamp, I think I learned two big things. One is just learning how to learn programming, because once you, the way the course was set up is you go from the very most basic all the way up through all the steps until you can build a full website, you learn the whole stack. And that same stack is applicable to every website. So once you learn it really well one time, you realize that you could learn other languages or other frameworks and things like that, really easily. It feels like a very accomplishable thing. So I learned that. And then one thing I learned just was how to program with other people. I think that's one of the really important things too, is learning in the real world you wouldn't really be working on something like this in an isolated bubble, and the bootcamp really emphasized teamwork and collaboration and group work when it came to programming, and I think learning how to do that the most effectively and how to be able to work well in a team is something really important and really unique too. We built a lab software for a biotech startup, so that was awesome. We got to go to this biotech startup. They were telling us about how their lab wasn't being run efficiently and what they thought that a software program could do to help them run it better. So we created that program, and then we also created a spin-off version sort of with the same concept but geared towards kids. So it was science experiments for little kids. Demo day was so awesome. It was awesome presenting, just being able to get up and say wow, 2 weeks ago, or yeah, I think it was only 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, we didn't even have an idea, and now we have this real thing that we made. And it was really cool too, because we presented about the kids' science one, and people were coming up to us after, parents, how do I get this? I want my kid to have this. I want to be able to use this with my kids. So that was really cool. And it was also I still remember that day very clearly, just because it was so amazing seeing all these people who I had only known for 10 weeks and didn't know at all at the beginning of the 10 weeks, and nobody knew anything at the beginning of the 10 weeks. And there were just just having 30 people up there, all really being very passionate and having these just incredible, really important, most of them were also very socially impactful ideas, and that they were then able to execute them because of what they learned. It was really cool. Some people are still working on those projects that came out of that and doing really amazing things based off of that experience. Yeah, so after I graduate, I'm working for an ad tech company called AppNexus. Their headquarters are in New York, and I'm doing a rotational program, so for a year I'll do 3 different jobs within the company. I definitely would not have gotten that job without the Tech Bootcamp. Pretty much everything I've done since the Tech Bootcamp has been, because I did the Tech Bootcamp, I could do this. I could work for a web development group and do a startup and get a job this summer and do programming within that job, and everything is sort of built off of that. So I definitely wouldn't have been able to do that without it. And yeah, even just from a practical interviewing standpoint, being able to say on your resume that you know all these different languages and frameworks, and being comfortable and confident going into an interview and talking about them and talking about how you would tackle problems and learn more is really, really important. And I found that throughout all my job interviews, so helpful. Would I recommend learning to code? Yes. Oh my gosh, yes. I recommend it to people all the time. I've been telling my little sister all week, she's been trying to figure out what to do for the summer. She's a sophomore in college, and the only thing I can say to her is just do coding, just learn how to code. There's no other skill really you could learn that would be so useful and open so many doors for you as coding. And also, like, just there aren't that many other things you could learn that would make you just feel so empowered to be able to do whatever you wanted. Like, you really feel like you can accomplish so many more things than you could before.